Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the Reclaimed Ranch and my name is Tara and this is my sidekick Fawn. Today's video, I had a client reach out to me and ask if I could do a wooden round sign for her. She wanted one for her farm and she just said to have some bees and some sunflowers, and so kind of gave me free rein as to how to make it and what to do with it. So we'll take you along and show you what the process was. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, so here is a 15-inch wood round, and anytime you have a raw piece of wood, you want to at least take some 220 grit sandpaper and smooth out those rough edges. So that's what I did there, and then we're going to do DIY White Swan for the base coat. I'm going to do 2 full coats of this, and then I used my heat gun to dry in between each coat. And that way I can get this project done a lot faster. So for today, I'm going to use this amazing casting resin. It's pretty awesome stuff. This is the IOD mold called Sunflowers. And instead of using air dry clay where you have to wait 24 hours for it to dry, this stuff is done within 10 minutes. So it has a part A and part B, and you just do equal amounts of both. And so I'm going to do 30 milliliters of the A and B and do 60 total. So I'm just going to stir it really well. I have a metal stir, but a lot of times you can just use like a wooden popsicle stick. And I'm going to go ahead and fill all of my molds and then use that little stir to kind of pop the bubbles. I also spray 91% alcohol with the little sprayer on top, and that also pops the bubbles as well. And you can see right here it's turning white, and that's already starting to set up. It sets up super fast, which makes it nice to get projects done. And then we're going to be using DIY paint today. This is the Gypsy Green and the Liquid Sunshine. And I have Cake Batter and Summer Crush. And then I'm going to use the Dark and Decrepit to kind of highlight and shade some areas. So we're going to pop these molds out, and you'll see here in just a second, I'm going to show you. It's got such awesome detail in these sunflowers. You can see that resin is just really, really nice to work with. Makes it easy to pop out as well. And then we're just going to go ahead and get creative and paint these pieces. And then I'm just going to dry those really well with my heat gun. And then use some Big Top from DIY to seal all those pieces. And like I said before in my other videos, I am not able to sell DIY products or IOD products. However, I do have a lady named Debbie here in Spokane that I buy my products from, so I'll leave a link to her shop. It's called Elsie Lane Boutique. So here I am using this transfer, and I can't really think of the name of it right now, but I'll pop it up on the screen. It has sunflowers and then a different type of rose flower, I believe. in with it. And they come in different pieces, which is nice because then you can make your own arrangements with these transfers. So like I said before in the other ones, the transfers come with the white backing. You just take it off, place it down where you want it, and then you use the little tool to put pressure on the transfer itself, and then it will adhere really well to the surface. So we're going to go ahead and glue on the molds here. I'm just trying to figure out placement of where I want everything to go. And I'm going to use the Titebond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue. I accidentally bumped the camera there, sorry, it's shaking a little bit. But we're going to use that glue to adhere all of these pieces. Just want to make sure to get enough glue that it goes out to the edges. I use my finger to kind of squish it around there. And you can see here that everything is glued on and ready to dry. Here I'm going to use the IOD stamp set called Birds and Bees. So what we're going to do is stamp the image on first, and then I'm going to let those dry, and then I'm going to take some of that DIY paint, and we're going to paint some yellow bodies onto them, and then I'm going to stamp it again to bring back all those details. So with these stamps, what you want to do is when you place it down, you hold it with one hand and then press with the other and kind of switch to be able to get all those details. And then carefully lift it up off of the round there. And that just gives me an image to go off of to be able to paint. So I'm going to be wiping that immediately off with my baby wipe. That way the ink doesn't stain the stamp as much. Then I'm going to go ahead and just do all the other bees the same way. We're going to put their initial stamp on just to get the outline. I'm going to use my heat gun just to dry it a little bit so it doesn't smear when I go to paint it. And then I'm going to take cake batter from DIY and liquid sunshine and kind of make a mixture for the color of the bees. And I'll do 2 coats of that and dry in between with my heat gun. That color turned out really pretty. Matches those sunflowers really well. And now what I like to do is just go ahead and go over just the body part. I don't need to do the wings, just to bring back all of that beautiful detail. Now that those are done, I'm going to just take a little bit of Dark and Decrepit and kind of go over some shading areas, do the leaves and the stems of the molds, kind of darken up those sunflower parts, the seed parts, and then also just a little bit on the petals just to kind of give it more dimension.